right? Nice meeting, Father Onesmas. Onesmas Mudhini Mudhoka.
Yes.
Yes. Mudhini is your name?
Yes.
Mudhoka is your dad.
Yes.
How old is your dad now? Is
My father is 84 years old now.
84 years old.
Hmm.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Eating mudhokoi.
Completely with all the teeth.
Yeah, that is fine.
Hmm.
Nice meeting you after a long time.
The pleasure is mine.
Mm.
Karibu, Noroi.
Okay. Sawa sawa.
Mm.
Viewers, we are at NKOROI Catholic Church,
St. Charles Luanga
St. Charles
and
Luanga,
Our Lady of Mount Carmel,
and Our Lady of Mount Carmel.
Catholic Parish.
So why combine the two?
When we came here some years back,
Mm.
we found a small church and it was dedicated to St. Charles Luanga.
Okay.
But when we came in, we were Carmelites. And so we wanted also to include in the patronage a Carmelite saint. And when we talked to the bishop, he said we shouldn't change the St. Charles Luanga, but we can add on another saint. And so we said St. Charles Luanga and Our Lady of Mount Carmel Catholic Parish.
Tell
Yes.
us about Carmelite.
Um, Carmelite is one of the religious orders that we have in the Catholic Church. It is like the Catholic Church has many families, and this is one of the families or different branches, but still under the same umbrella of the Catholic Church. The Carmelites started in Palestine in the 12th century, and up to today they have been, functioning and working in different parts of the world. Apparently, maybe in every corner of the world. And we have priests, we have sisters, and we have lay people working in the Carmelite family under the big umbrella of the Catholic Church. And our presence in Kenya is now 15 years old.
Okay.
And apparently, that's what Carmelite is. Their main thing is to pray, to serve the church,
Okay.
and to live in fraternity or in communities. And
Okay.
so we normally say that Carmelites are contemplatives in action.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay. Apart from Carmelites, what other segments do we have in Catholic Church?
We have different kinds of congregations in the Catholic Church. We have Franciscans, we have Dominicans, we have, different kinds of congregations started by different founders in the church. And all these are like different flowers in the same big garden who do different kinds of work. Everybody knows Mother Teresa of Calcutta, who started a congregation by the name of Missionaries of Charity, who serve the poorest of the poor. So every congregation has a specific mission in the church.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Now, Father,
Hmm.
we were with you in the same school,
Yes.
Musingu High School.
Same class.
That was back in 87, 88.
Yes.
Yes. Now, had you thought of being a father then?
Kind of. It was at my background.
Mm.
It's something that I had thought about, and of course, giving it time because that's called a vocation and it has to mature with time. And so you have to give it time, you have to wait and see, like, first finish school and see now what happens after I finish school. Do I qualify to do this or do I qualify to do the other? And so as we finished high school, I was thinking of definitely going to the university, but still I had this in my background
Yeah.
because it's a way of life.
Yeah.
And so once you embrace it, you've embraced a vocation,
Mm.
and seriously, you embrace it until the end of time of your life.
I hear some people going to seminaries from Form 1 onwards.
Yes,
How different was your journey?
yes. Normally, there are seminaries and they are called minor seminaries, and these take in from Form 1.
Yeah, or minor seminaries.
Yes, minor seminaries. And
Uh-huh.
they pick in young men to train them first, to educate them in high
Yeah.
school, but with a theme of being servants of the church,
Yeah.
either as priests or committed lay people, but mainly as priests to serve the church, to be ministers, to be pastors of the church, to be priests. And so it starts a little bit, it's to try to motivate them to be tuned into that vocation.
Okay.
It's not the main thing, but it's an important thing as they go through their secondary education.
Had you noted anywhere that you'd wish to be a priest, or you just applied after the A levels?
It ran in my mind. This vocation ran in my mind since I was in Form 1, I
Mm-hmm.
can say.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes I could wait and see whether this, will end, or it could graduate to the reality. And so you find that every time you come to a crossroad, like you're finishing high school, you're finishing class 8, you're thinking, what next? And
Yeah.
so it kept on coming as an option. And every time it was coming in a little bit heavier. So then I said, okay, that's good. I feel like this is how I should do. I feel like this is how I should start my life. Although at that particular time you don't know the whole journey, but at least there is this, a call. It's a call inside us that you feel attracted towards doing this way, towards serving God, towards serving the people of God as a man of God. And
Yes.
so, yeah, that's how it started.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, most likely, in when I was going to Form 1, I had
Okay.
that.
You told your parents about it?
Yes, I told my
How
parents
did they
about.
take this?
They took it very seriously, and of course, their first word was no, no,
Ah.
no, no.
Uh-huh.
But I kept on talking about it to them,
Why the no?
because one of the things is that I'm the firstborn and the only son of the family.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And so that means for an African family that the family lineage is
Yeah.
cut.
It's cut.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So they didn't want to hear about it. That's one. And number two, my family did not have a Catholic background.
Okay.
We were Protestants, belonged to the African Inland Church.
Okay.
And so it was also something new to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one who started going to the Catholic Church. And step by step, I pulled everybody into the Catholic Church.
Now they're in Catholic Church.
All of them are in the Catholic Church.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So later they accepted accepted your vision.
Yes, I think time came, and they noticed that they wouldn't choose a life for me.
Okay.
And as bitter as it was, just like in any other family, you may find that somebody decides to take a different way, or to marry a girl, or to marry a man that as a father you don't like. But at the end of the day, you say, well, I think this person has to live his own life.
That's his choice.
Exactly.
Okay, that is fine. Onesmas the child, primary school.
Yes. I went to the very local primary school, part of it. It's called Bani Primary School in Machakos Diocese,
Yes.
Machakos County. And I was there until class 6. And then I came to Nairobi. My mother moved to work in Nairobi.
Okay.
And so I went to Jamhuri Primary School.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I did my class 8.
Your class 7.
My class 7 then. Oh.
Viewers, that time we didn't have,
We didn't have class 8.
Class 8. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I did my class 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to Makueni Boys
Okay.
for my O levels, we used to call them at that time.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Then Musingu High School.
Went to Musingu High School.
That is where you met the greatest footballers. Which footballers do you can you remember now? Because I remember that time we had classmates who were playing for AFC Leopards, others were in Gor Mahia, Motcom. Do you remember any?
Yes, I remember some in the school. Not everyone, but I remember George Ambaisi.
Yes,
was
the goalkeeper.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I remember Tom Murinda.
Tom Murinda.
Yes.
Is now in Sweden.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I remember
Playing football?
Yes, he's been playing football even up
in
to
Sweden.
date. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He's been great footballer.
Yes.
I remember Ofek.
Now he calls himself Baba Maria.
Baba Maria
on Facebook.
Yes.
Does a lot of running.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Who else?
I don't remember anyone else.
Harrigan Muhongo was a volleyballer. We had very great volleyballers.
It was amazing because we had a very good support from the outsiders.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And the school staff was very supportive.
Very supportive. I remember the head teacher. He was Mr. We used to call him Bokassa.
Bokassa.
Uh-huh. That was Avedi Bolivar.
Avedi Bolivar.
Uh-huh.
Tough man.
Very tough. Very tough.
And he made gentlemen out of the young boys.
He did. In fact, there's a time in class he asked a question. It was a geography class. Then he asked me, Otieno. I told him, excuse me, sir, I don't think you've asked that question well. Everybody thought Bokassa would
Kill you.
would bokasa me. Then he asked, okay, Otieno, I've asked it strongly. How would I frame it? Then I reframed the question and he said, yes. Can you now answer it? And things went on well. So he
Oh.
was quite accommodative also.
Yes.
Okay. After A levels,
After
you
A
told me
level,
you are a chef.
yes.
Uh-huh.
After A levels, I went to college. I went to, by then, Kenya Polytechnic.
Yes.
And I did what at that time they called institutional management. And that was included housekeeping, um, uh, chef cookery. I did diet therapy, that is kind of diet that you give to patients, housekeeping, of course. So it was all what now today they would call hotel management.
Okay.
Yes, and that was 3 years diploma.
3 years.
3 years diploma.
So it was a thorough diploma.
Oh yes, yes. And I graduated after 3 years, and then my first job was in Turkana Kakuma,
In the camps.
next to the camp, because I taught in a school.
This time you had shelved the issue of the priesthood vision.
It was still at the background, like
being
music,
nurtured.
like music in the background. It was still there. Because I remember I went to get my results from the institution, and as I just walked out, I met a sister, medical missionaries of Mary, and she looked at me.
That is at Kakuma.
No, at Kenya Poly.
At Kenya Poly.
Yeah, she had come to look for somebody to go and teach in a homecraft. Homecraft is a training center. At that time, was a training center for young women and men who, about housekeeping and cooking. And then she said, "Could you please come with me to Turkana Kakuma?" And that was like a foreign country. So
You
I
are
said,
several, but she chose on you.
I don't know why. And then I said, I don't think I can make it. It's very far unless you promise me what do
Big
you say?
money.
Big money and what you call hardship allowance.
Uh-huh.
And she said, no, just come, we'll see what to do and all that. And when I came home and talked about it, my parents don't want to hear about that. Said, it's very far, it's almost outside the country, it's very dry, it's difficulty to travel and all that. But I wanted to give it a trial. And so after about 2 weeks of thinking, I decided to go. She gave me her number. And at that time, we did not have mobile phones.
Yeah, we didn't.
So I kept on going to the,
The booths.
booths and trying to call her. But later we agreed and I traveled. I traveled
So
overnight.
you got your first job
Yes.
and fell on money. There was no money as promised.
That was 3,000 Kenyan shilling at that time. That's what I started
That was
with.
which year?
Early 90s. Let me say 90, it should be 91, 92, 90, 91.
At that time I was earning 1,040 shillings.
You see? Because before I went to college, I taught and I was getting 1,400 shillings.
Oh,
Yeah, teaching.
okay.
Yes.
But mine was after a revolt. I started with 980 as a secondary school teacher. Then at some point we just decided with a friend of mine called Lucas Okach. We just decided today we must revolt about this. Other people are earning 1,200. Why should we earn 980? So we went, picked our books from the staff room and said we are leaving. The old man, he was called Mr. Omolo Wambetha. Omolo Wambetha saw us leaving. So he called us back and said, what is it, my teachers? And we told him we can't make do with 980. So he talked to us and said, now I'll make it 1,040. And we said, yes, we've achieved.
Yeah.
And we went back to work.
You see?
Yes.
That's true.
Kakuma, then.
Kakuma, I worked for 1 year.
Yeah.
Getting a big salary of 3,000 shillings at the end of the month. And I made sure that every end of month I sent 500 shillings to my mom, 500 shillings to my dad. And I was left with so much money. Sometimes I could sit down and get amazed, what am I going to do with all this money? I mean, I had it and that was too much money at that time.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So I worked for about a year and a half. And then one fine morning, I get a letter letters that used to take forever from my sister
Through the post.
through the post, my immediate follower. And she told me that she was preparing to get married. Then I thought, my younger sister is getting married. Here I am. I don't know what I really want to do in life. I really have to get serious and do something.
But you're already a chef,
Yes, but I thought.
earning good money.
Exactly. But I thought I should either promote my vocation, religious vocation, to be a priest, or think otherwise, because it felt like a competition.
Yeah,
So I immediately resigned and came home to help her prepare for the
for the wedding.
wedding.
Was she paying you?
No.
How are you surviving?
She was
or you
also
had
teaching.
stashed some money in the account.
She was also teaching,
Uh-huh.
and she was getting that 1,040. I don't know what was 1,040.
It was almost those who were under, was it called allied workers, hotel and allied workers, something, were earning almost the same amount.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we prepared her, and she got married. And then when she now left home, that's when I felt so empty. And now I got seriously into hunting about my vocation and really getting to know where I should go to start this journey.
Yes.
Yes.
So, priesthood, how far have you gone? You've traveled to several countries, I hope.
Yes.
Let me not say I hope. I'm very sure. Which countries?
Yes. I started the first time that I got out of Kenya. I went straight to Spain, and I was in Spain for 11 years. When I was in Spain, I was able to travel and work shortly in France, in Italy. And after that, I went to the US. I was in Washington, D.C. for 5 years, but I could still work in our different houses, different parts of the US. And then after my master's, I came back and I started here.
Okay.
We started to work here at the parish.
Which year was this?
I came back 2006.
If you were to leave St. Charles Lwanga now, what would you be proud of?
Oh. The good people that I've met, that I've worked with. I was just about a week on the 17th of July. I celebrated my 16th year as a priest.
That is this year.
Yes. And I was just having, like watching back, get like going back and flowing again. And I noticed that some of the people that I found as kids are now getting married, or have gotten married, or they have children. That's how you like see the progress.
Yeah.
People have grown bigger, people have left, or people, different things.
Okay.
Um,
Under your tutelage, you have taken people through priesthood.
yes, my main job has been formation, and yes, for the last can I say 14-15 years that I've been doing that. Yes, many. We have now 4 priests since that time, and we have other many waiting also to get to that.
Okay.
And it's a blessing.
It makes you smile.
The journey is not easy.
Okay.
But we thank God for that.
What would you tell one who wants to be a priest now? Somebody is in Form 1 or Form 2 or even Class 8, and he would want to be a priest. What should he do?
One of the things is that people think that priesthood is not fun. They think, wow, you're like deprived. But I think I've had so much fun, as much as I've had difficulty moments. I've had a lot of fun. I'm a kind of a person who like to laugh a lot. I like to be at peace with everybody as much as I can. And I would say it is such a beautiful thing to see souls come to God, to see the very few moments that you change somebody's life. Not so much, but that you just bring joy, or you just listen to somebody, or you just pray with somebody, or you just draw this person closer to God. it brings a lot of fulfillment than any amount of money in the world. Having good company, having to see a family smile, having to see somebody was crying a little bit, understanding something differently, that changing of the heart and the attitude and drawing people closer to God, that's the most wonderful thing that I think I have experienced during this time, and I would do it again and again.
Okay. Your difficult moments, you've said.
Yes, there are difficulty moments. The more responsibility you have, the more you're also likely to sink down low
Yeah.
at moments. We like, for example, this time we have had to listen to so many people with so many difficulties, with so many needs, with so many
The COVID
fears.
times. Did we sanitize?
We can go again.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, you have to sit down and kind of digest that, kind of pray for those people, kind of pray for everybody. And so there's a feeling of, I'm carrying so much. It's a responsibility. Every responsibility is heavy if you want to be serious with it. And so that's a challenge.
Yeah, it is.
It's a challenge. But it's a challenge that is worthy going through.
Now, your masters, what have you studied?
Yeah, spirituality and counseling.
Counseling. So you could that is psychological counseling
Yes,
or psychiatric counseling?
psychological.
Psychological.
Yes,
So it would come in handy if maybe somebody has a problem, maybe a marital problem.
yes, yes.
Okay.
We see that quite often,
Do
almost
they
every
come
day.
here for counseling?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you invite others to come for counseling, or it would be very heavy for you?
No, 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 no. It's open for everybody. Yeah,
Okay.
yes. We
Uh-huh.
don't limit. It's anybody who needs help or
Uh-huh.
who needs to talk.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Must they be of the Catholic faith?
no,
Anybody.
anybody.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Apparently, in this church, we every time we're getting more non-Catholics. Funny enough, for different reasons, for counseling, for help. Some even just come to fellowship with us, to be in mass with us, and I think it's a good idea in the sense that when we have an open mind, it's also a way of trying to understand other people, the way they worship, the way they look at God, the way they do their fraternity. It's really good when you're a Christian and you have an open mind. I
Okay.
think that means a lot.
Yeah, on your Facebook page, I've always seen you talking about giving a word or two. Would you do it in another forum? Maybe just the words that you gave out. If say now we want to have a segment in our TV station where now you just disseminate some information about God,
Yes,
would it work?
I would talk about God anywhere and anytime. Yes, so I don't mind that.
Okay. That would be good.
Yes.
Yeah, viewers, this is a stupid reality show, and in our show, we delved on harnessing talent and maybe telling the youth what they should do. Maybe there are things they're not doing in the right way, but they could do it in a better way. Father Onesmas, what do you think you didn't do in the right way that later on you did in the best way? Or maybe given a chance, you'll do it another way?
I think
Uh-huh.
yes. So I think one of the things that I would really do better, that I don't think I've done very well, and that every man of God, every pastor, every priest, every man of God, every woman of God, would be necessary, and especially for me, is to love more, to listen more to people, to be available for the people that look up to you or that you shepherd, and that's what I think I would like to do more: listen more, love more, be available for the people who need me.
Okay. But for what you've done so far, you have the fulfillment.
Yes,
Okay.
I thank God. I thank God for that. I feel I don't need to regret. I think I've done what I could. What I did not know do, then I didn't know how to do it, and um, every day you get better by God's
Okay.
grace.
Thank you, Father Onesmas, for having us around your church.
Yeah.
And I hope listeners and viewers, you've learned something from our stupid reality show. Till next time, I'm your host, Otieno Isaiah. Thank you.
Okay.